Good morning, everybody. It is day 71, I believe. Slept in my tent at a shelter last night. I did catch up to country roads, although when she saw that I caught her, she decided to move forward an extra 3 miles last night, so that I don't pass her up and blow her away today, which is okay. She doesn't have trail legs. I do. Compared to her, I'm flying. Compared to the Sobos, I'm flying, although they don't think so. Interesting dynamics. You know, last year, hiking basically in the bubble, and even though I got off the trail a couple times for a few days at a time, I still hike in the bubble, and I knew most of the people that I was hiking with and camping with, and if you didn't, you got to know them pretty quickly. Out here, I know almost nobody when we stopped. Last night I stopped. One other Nobo showed up that I knew from the hostel in, I don't know, a couple hostels back. They're all blending together now. I don't remember. It would have been at the cabin. And his name is Phoenix. He was doing a slack pack the day I left there. And he's a fast hiker. He's one of those guys that started at Emma Falls this year. So he's fast. And but other than him, there were 1, 2, 3, 4. I camped with the 3 elderly ladies and the gentleman. I found out last night he's their guide through here. They caught up and they camped where I was. Other than that, and today's their last day. They're hiking to the next road and they're getting off. But other than that, it was all Sobos. And all right, so I've come 1.2 miles, mostly downhill, mostly steep downhill. Not fun when everything's wet. It rained last night. It wasn't supposed to. Shocker. It didn't rain hard, but it rained just enough to get everything wet. And that makes certainly this first downhill a little bit more dangerous than it needed to be. But took my time, got through it. Had to slide down a couple of rock faces on my butt. But that's what you got to do. So, plan today, can't remember if I covered it or not yet, is to go 10.7. And currently I've got the plan for me to go to the ski lift at Sugarloaf. Their control room, they actually have a note on the front door that's an invitation to all thru hikers. Come in and enjoy. Don't make a mess. Be respectful, but by all means, sleep inside our control room. They're fine with that. The only problem with that is that it's a half a mile off the trail, uphill. I don't know if I want to do that. We'll see. We'll see how I feel when I get there, if I get there. Rain's supposed to start around noon today, a little after. And then after 4, they're talking about thunderstorms. And raining pretty much through the night. Not sure how that plays with my overall plan. I think tomorrow Country Roads has to be in Stratton. So I'm guessing that's the goal for tomorrow. And if that's the case, then I'll be looking at staying at a... where am I going here? Staying at a hostel called the Roadhouse. They're supposed to be a really good hostel. It's run by, I believe, 2 ladies named Jen. Must be the name. Everybody I know named Jen is a good person. All right, what am I gonna do here? Oh, these roots are just, you step on them, boy, and you're asking for trouble. So that's the plan as it stands right now. I'll try to get to that hostel by tomorrow. And I don't know how it's going to work out with Country Roads. I like her. She's a nice lady. I think we would hike well together. But I just don't know that she's going to be able to do 10 miles a day. And that's not a shot against her. It's just that this is tough terrain. I'm struggling doing 10 miles a day. I have trail legs. She does not. She's been on the trail 3 whole days now. I think she's done, in 3 days, she's done 13 miles. And that was in good weather. All right. Everything is wet. And it's just going to get wetter. I guess we got the remnants of that hurricane that hit Texas coming up through. Haven't gotten any messages from my neighbor about my house, so I have to assume that everything's good there. He came ripping up through Kentucky the other day, yesterday, I guess. All right, starting to go uphill a little bit. Yeah, it was interesting. One of the guys that was at the shelter last night, he hiked part of the trail last year, and we found that we knew a lot of the same people, including my friend Fearless, who I haven't heard from in a long time. So anyways, we reminisced about some of the hostels, Woods Hole, and some of the other ones that we both had gone to. And it was good because that was the time when the Sobos just kind of kicked back and listened. And a couple of them asked some good questions about hostels, where they should go, how they should do it down there. So, yeah, it's good. They get to hear some of that information from people who've already done it. And hopefully it makes their life a little bit easier as they get farther south. I mentioned to everybody my favorite hostels, which are Around the Bend, Woods Hole, Sunflower Cottage, the Stanimals in Waynesboro and Glasgow. There's a lot of good ones down there. And there's a lot of good ones that I didn't stay at, so I don't want to diss them. All right, I'm going to shut up and turn this off for a bit. Enjoy this flat track for a bit and get ready for the start of a long uphill. The good thing is this uphill has a number of kind of breaks in it, and but climbing top of Sugarloaf is going to be a challenge. But hey, that's what this trail's all about. All right, we'll see you in a bit. I'm about 3 miles into the day and just crossed the creek. And this is what I've got going up. Yeehaw. All right, let's go. A little over 3.5 miles into the trail today. Starting on my uphill section. This first section doesn't appear to be too steep. Then I got a flat area, and then the next up section a little bit steeper. Yeah, there's a few steep spots today, but most of what I've got left today is uphill. And Yeah, we just have to get through it. It's hot. It's not hot, it's humid. It's in the middle 60s, but the humidity is through the freaking roof. I am just pouring sweat. It's so humid I can barely see out my glasses. I got sweat going down in my eyes. Salt is tearing it up. Yeah, this is gonna be, I just got a feeling this is gonna be one of those miserable days. So I'm just gonna go ahead and prepare for it and get it over with. A lot of uphill, which is better than a lot of downhill. I'll take it. Doesn't look too steep, but with the rain coming around lunchtime, I may rethink my plans again, but that's the beauty of it. I can do that. I can make adjustments on the fly. There is a shelter about 4.5 miles away. If I needed to, I can stop there and camp for the night. Doggone it. Hang on a second. I got so much sweat in my eye I can't see. I've been leapfrogging a youngster. He's passed me a couple times. He's way faster than I am. However, I just passed him again where he camped last night down at the stream where I got water. And he told me that his parents are not picking him up until 29, so he actually needs to slow down. He's a good kid. I wouldn't mind hiking a little bit here and there with him. Very quiet spoken. Yeah, good kid. Seems like, anyways. All right, I'm gonna have to put this down and use my trekking poles here in a minute because I'm getting tired. I want to wear myself out before I get to the big hills. All right, I'll be back in bed. Just so you know, the bugs are out in force today, so. All right, I have reached the top of my first big climb of the day, and maybe my only big climb of the day. I don't know if you can tell, I am absolutely dripping. My shirt, I bet I've got 5 pounds of sweat in my shirt. Everything on my body is soaking wet with sweat. Everything. My hat, I mean, it's just everything's soaking. It is so humid. It's only 69 degrees. And I mean, it feels like 100 degrees out here right now. The humidity is through the roof. I have drank, I think I've come probably about 6 miles so far today. And I bet you I've drunk at least 6-7 bottles of water already. Thank goodness there's tons of water sources, especially with the rain last night. I think I've decided that I'm not going to go to the ski lift control room. My body is telling me that ain't not happening, buddy. So there's a shelter that's 2.2 miles from here. That's where I'm going to go. So I'm only going to do 8-point-something mile day, which is okay. Keep moving forward. That's all I can do. And yeah, it's hot. It's humid. The bugs are out. Yeah, I've gone on a murder spree for these deer flies. They are not fun. If you don't know what they are, think of a miniature horsefly that bites almost as hard. And but the worst thing about them, listen, they can bite me all day long. I don't care. The worst thing about them is the buzzing. They will buzz your ears. They will buzz you. They buzz, 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 buzz. They never stop buzzing. And they're Yeah, they're everywhere. So about every, I don't know, every 10th of a mile, I got to stop and kill one or two of them to get them off of me. That's the only way to get them out. They will follow you for miles until they can find a place to land on you and bite you. And yeah, hang on, there's one right there. Come on, land on me. Bye-bye. All right, yeah, one less. I have no mercy on these suckers. I have no empathy, no sympathy, no nothing. If they're going to try to drive me insane, I'm going to kill them. It's just as simple as that. And I'm getting pretty good at it. That's the sad thing. Oh, wow. This is a tough day. The terrain is not that bad. You know, if it wasn't for this humidity, I'd probably be where I'm at right now an hour ago. But having to stop and get so much water, it's just what you got to do. Just what you got to do. So stopping at that shelter is going to throw me off a little bit. I really wanted to get to a point where I could do a Nero into Stratton. And yeah, now I'm just not going to be able to do that. I'll have to rework my plan. So I think I'm going to go to that shelter. There's one tent site there, one. So I'm going to try to get there early enough to get that one tent site. I really do not want to be in a shelter tonight. With the rain that's coming, that shelter is going to be packed. And I want no part of that. I want no part of that. So I'd much rather be in my tent. And yeah, all right. All right, my break is over. So I'm going to take a sip of water and I'm going to move on down the trail. The good thing is the next 2.2 miles on far out, it looks a couple little bumps here and there, but it looks fairly level. So I may have missed that one. All right, I'm gonna roll. All right, I'll talk to you down trail. I've come 6.8 miles. 1.2 to get to the shelter that I'm probably going to stay at. And it's pretty nice out here right now. Well, it's not nice. I mean, it's humid. Humidity is through the roof, like I said before. But temperature is okay. The terrain, it is fairly flat and level now. Got some roots and rocks to avoid here and there, but overall not too bad. I'm cruising along pretty good. I feel like I could go farther. But man, I don't want to get stuck out in this rain, and most definitely not the thunderstorms. I want some kind of shelter over my head when that stuff hits. It's tried to sprinkle a couple times on me, but I don't think looking for much rain until before 1 o'clock in the afternoon. At least that's what the weather forecast is saying. I should get to shelter a little bit after noon, get my tent put up, get some lunch, and wait for the rain. Wait it out till tomorrow. I don't know what the weather's supposed to be like tomorrow, but so I know it's not going to rain all day. It'll probably rain early in the morning, so I'll be wet when I get up. But it just depends on how far I got to go tomorrow. I don't want to hike a long day into Stratton because it just won't give me enough time to get everything done that I need to get done. So if I do take a long day to get into Stratton, I'll stay there 2 nights. I'll take a 0. Yeah, I'm just kind of talking out loud right now, just trying to figure out a plan. You have to be able to adapt and change out here based on terrain, weather, your body, injuries, all that stuff. So, and I'm moving forward, man. Tomorrow for sure I will pass the 2,000 mile marker. I'm excited about that because obviously that'll mean less than 200 miles to go. And in a perfect world, doing 10 miles a day, 20 days, 3 weeks, and I can be done. Don't expect that's going to happen, but it's possible. I think, oh shit, that was almost. That was almost. What do we got here? Spalding lean-to is that way, 1.1 miles. What is this? It's the Blue Blaze Mount Abraham Trail. All right, that ain't where we're going. We're going that way. All right. So I guess that was Lone Mountain we just crossed over. Spalding Mountain lean-to, shelter, 1.1 miles. Let's go. Ay, ay, ay. I got the blues today. Not feeling my normal good-natured self. I would have really liked to have gone 10 plus miles today, but I just don't want to do the rain. I've done so much of the rain. I don't want to do anymore. I don't mind starting off in the rain if the terrain's not horrible, because I know I'm going to dry out later on in the day. But finishing in the rain, that's just no fun, because your clothes will not dry overnight. With this humidity, ain't nothing going to dry. I have no doubt by the end of the day today, as much as I'm sweating, I'm going to be in that real foul stank condition. So I'm hoping that there's a good stream at this shelter. I know there's a water source, but I don't know how good it is. If it's good enough, I can get this shirt off and at least get it rinsed out. Wow. This section is not a whole lot different from certain places down south. All right, I am stubbing my toes way too much. I'm going to put this down. Every now and then, I make a good decision. Today was a good decision. I got to the shelter, got my tent set up in the only tent spot that's here, and about an hour later, it started raining, and it's been raining ever since. It's supposed to rain through the night. I think my tent is in a good spot. I don't think it'll get flooded out. Worst case scenario, rain gets in here and I have to move over to the shelter. Right now, there's only 2 other people over there. So it ended up being a shorter day than I wanted. I did just under 8 miles, I think 7, 9. That's close enough. So it makes it weird for the next day, because to get all the way into town, we would have to do a 13.5 mile day tomorrow, and that's just not realistic. The terrain that we're going to be going over, it's just not going to happen. It's just poor timing. So what I'm probably going to do is just split it in half. I'll do 6 or 7 miles tomorrow, 6 or 7 miles the next day. Get into town. That'd be a short day. I'm narrow into town, and I can get resupplied, get everything taken care of, and get back out the next day. So, yeah, not a big deal. It's not a big deal. The main thing is keep moving forward, and that's what I'm doing. And I'm doing it safely as you can through this terrain. All right, that's it. I will, hopefully I'll hike tomorrow. They're calling for 2 to 3 inches of rain up here. And I'm not sure what that's going to do to some of the rivers that we have to go across. And, here we go again. Anyways, all right. Well, hopefully tomorrow I've got better news. So, have a good day. Good night. We'll talk to you later.